The night was heavy with silence before history was about to be written on grass soaked in cold European air. A stadium stood alive like a breathing giant waiting for a spark to awaken its soul. Every seat was filled with expectation and every eye was fixed on the tunnel where legends are born and broken. Somewhere deep in that tunnel, Neymar Jr. stood alone. No noise reached him here. No pressure could touch him here. Only the rhythm of his breath and the memory of every fall, every injury, every comeback that shaped him into something beyond a player. Ahead of him was Norway, a team built on power, discipline, and relentless structure. Behind him was a world watching through the VIP camera angle that would capture every movement, every flick, every moment that could become eternal. The lights above the pitch burned like a crown of fire. The grass looked like a battlefield waiting for art to be painted on it. And Neymar walked out slowly as if time itself was bending around his presence. The crowd rose like a storm breaking free from silence. Flags moved like waves in a restless ocean, and the air itself felt heavy as if something impossible was about to happen. He stopped at the edge of the pitch, looked up at the sky above the stadium, and for a brief moment everything faded except his thoughts. He remembered the pain of injuries that tried to end him. He remembered critics who said his style would not survive modern football. He remembered the nights when silence was louder than applause. Then he stepped forward. The whistle had not even blown, but the story had already begun. From the VIP camera angle, every movement felt different. Every touch of the ball looked closer to art than sport. Every step he took seemed to pull defenders into uncertainty. Norway pressed early with strength and structure. They moved like a machine designed to erase creativity. But creativity does not die under pressure. It evolves. The ball reached Neymar for the first time, and the stadium changed its rhythm instantly. One touch, soft like a whisper, a defender closed in like a wall. But Neymar was already gone. He moved not with speed alone, but with imagination that bent direction itself. The defender missed by a breath, and that breath felt like an eternity. The crowd reacted too late, because what they saw had already become history. Norway responded with force. A long pass cut through midfield like a strike of intention. Their attackers pushed forward with hunger. The match became a collision of two philosophies. Power against art, structure against freedom, control against instinct. And in the center of it all, Neymar walked like a calm storm. Every time he received the ball, the world slowed down. The VIP camera captured details no normal eye could follow. The slight roll of his ankle, the tilt of his body, the hesitation that was never hesitation but calculation. Minutes passed and tension grew. Norway tried to isolate him. Two defenders and three. A cage built to silence genius. But genius does not stay inside cages. He dropped deeper to collect the ball, turned instantly under pressure, and slipped through a gap that did not exist a second before. The stadium gasped, not because of speed, but because of impossibility. Counterattack began. Teammates ran forward like arrows released from a bow. Neymar carried the ball through the center circle as if the pitch belonged to him alone. A defender lunged, missed, another tried, failed. It was not dribbling anymore. It was rewriting geometry. The goalkeeper stepped forward preparing for impact. The world narrowed into a single moment of decision. Neymar paused. That pause was heavier than movement. It froze defenders in doubt. It forced time to question itself. Then he struck. The ball left his foot like a thought turned into reality, curving through the air with silent precision. The goalkeeper stretched. The stadium held its breath. And then the net moved. For a moment there was no sound, only disbelief suspended in light. Then the stadium exploded into life. Neymar stood still, not celebrating wildly, not shouting, only looking at the crowd as if acknowledging something only he could understand. The VIP camera caught his eyes. Calm, focused, almost distant, as if the goal had already been written long before the match began. Norway did not break. They responded. Their game became faster, more aggressive, more desperate. They pushed forward with unity. Crosses entered the box like waves crashing endlessly. The pressure increased. Defenders of Neymar's team fought to survive. Every clearance felt like survival rather than defense. And then it happened. A mistake in midfield. A stolen pass. Norway broke through. A shot fired from close range. The goalkeeper reacted, but not enough. The ball hit the net. Silence fell for a fraction of time. The match was alive again. The scoreboard no longer mattered. Only momentum did. Neymar walked back to the center circle. No frustration on his face. Only understanding. Because he knew football is never about one moment. It is about response. The whistle restarted the game, and the atmosphere shifted again. Now the match was no longer controlled. It was alive in chaos. Neymar received the ball near the sideline. 3 defenders closed and instantly. Space disappeared, but he created space where none existed. A feint, a turn, a sudden burst forward. 1 defender slipped. Another was left behind. The third hesitated, and hesitation is defeat in motion. He entered the final third again. The VIP camera followed closely. Every detail magnified. Every breath visible. Every second stretched like time refusing to move forward. Teammates rushed into position. Norway scrambled to recover shape. The stadium rose to its feet without knowing why. Neymar looked up once. That single glance was enough. He delivered a pass instead of a shot. Perfectly weighted. Perfectly timed. Cutting through defenders like silence through noise. A teammate finished the move. Goal! The stadium erupted again, but this time louder, sharper, deeper. Neymar did not run first. He simply pointed toward the passer and acknowledged the team. Because greatness alone is never enough for him. Connection defines his art. Norway felt the pressure now. The structure began to crack. Fatigue entered their movement, but they refused to surrender. The final stage of the match became war and poetry at the same time. Long balls, quick transitions, last-minute tackles, heartbeats louder than tactics. Neymar received one final opportunity in open space. Only 1 defender remained between him and destiny. The stadium stood still again. The defender rushed in. Full commitment. No hesitation. Neymar shifted left, then right, then stopped completely. The defender lost balance for a split second. That was all he needed. He moved past him like a shadow escaping light. Now only the goalkeeper remained. The world narrowed into silence again. Neymar stepped forward slowly. Each step measured, each breath controlled, as if he was walking through memory instead of pressure. The goalkeeper advanced, trying to shrink the angle, trying to become the final word. Neymar looked at him, and for a brief instant everything stopped. No crowd, no stadium, no history, only 2 minds facing each other. Then Neymar struck again. The ball rolled gently past the keeper, not with force, but with certainty. It crossed the line, and the stadium collapsed into sound. This was not just a goal. It was a final statement of the night. Neymar turned away slowly, as if he already knew the story had ended. The VIP camera captured everything. The sweat, the silence after glory, the calm in his expression. Norway stood defeated but not distant. They had faced something beyond ordinary competition. And Neymar Jr. walked back toward the center of the pitch, not as a player celebrating victory, but as an artist finishing a masterpiece that only the world could witness once and never again.